The purpose of this session here is because we're going to be talking about how to sell high ticket. And we wanted to have Ken jump on here because he is a veteran at selling high ticket. And I think he's probably one of the best salespeople I've ever met. He's working within our program, been a client now for almost about a year. And, recently jumped on with the performance model when we launched it last month. And since then, he has one of the highest closing rates that we're seeing. So we figured, you know what, let's have Ken share some golden nuggets and some wisdom with some of our other clients on how he's doing it and how he's having so much success selling high ticket. So there, not only is Mr. Ken here, but we also have Deanna, who is the CEO of the F.A.M.O.S group. You all had a chance to meet Deanna. That's her right there. Why don't you say hello?
Hey, how's everyone doing?
Deanna.
Mr. Ken Wood, how are you, sir?
Doing good. I'm doing good. I'll be down there February the 13th.
Well, we're going to come see you.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll definitely be planning something here when you come down to Miami. But what I like to do is I want to go ahead and pass the mic to Mr. Ken Wood, where he's going to be talking about the mindset around selling high ticket, why you should be selling high ticket, how to sell high ticket, and how by selling high ticket, this will absolutely transform your business immediately. Because I know some of you guys in conversation, you told me, hey, my goal is to get to 10 grand or 15 grand or 20 grand a month. But when you have a high ticket model, that becomes a normal thing. Right? It becomes very easy to scale to that type of number. And we want to help all you guys get to the point where you could easily be generating multiple six figures every couple of months. So I'm going to go ahead and pass the mic to Deanna. Why don't you just share with everybody a little bit about, with our performance model, why we say, hey, you got to sell high ticket. It's a mandatory thing if you really want to win. Obviously, from running a business and you own the F.A.M.O.S group, and talking to all these credit repair clients that we've talked to, what are some of the things that you can share with everybody while Mr. Ken gets ready on why high ticket is so important, so valuable?
Yeah, for sure. For any credit repair business or any business in that sense, I believe that selling high ticket is valuable because you'll be able to not only one, step up your business, two, I believe that your return on investment is far greater than being able to sell low ticket, right? And everyone in the credit repair space, they sell low ticket items. And I think by being able to sell high ticket, you're separating yourself from everybody else and from the masses. Like every credit repair client that we talk to who wants to do the pay for performance model, and they don't understand how to sell high ticket, we kind of, before they even become a client of ours, we try to tell them, hey, is there a way you can have your average lifetime value of a client be $1,000 minimum? And the most you ever want to, say charge $1,000 is maximum 4 months. So when they go through the interview process with us, so Michael Lattimore, you just asked what dollar amount do you consider high ticket? $1,000 or more, right? And you want to be able to, if you can't collect this up front, we'll challenge you to collect it up front, or what you can do is spread it amongst 4 months, which is $250 for 4 months straight, or $300 up front, and then you can split it amongst a few months, but never more than 4 months, because if you go past 4 months, you're losing your return on investment. And when you're working with a marketing agency like the F.A.M.O.S group, we will want to make sure that you level up, right? And we want to make sure that you increase your pricing so that it makes sense for you as a business owner to keep reinvesting into your business. And it's also going to essentially, like I said, separate you from everybody else. Majority of the credit repair clients that we talk to say, I only charge, let's just say $150 up front and then $50 a month. And they try to do it over a span of 12 months. It's not going to work. A lot of people are looking for a company that can do it in less than a year, right? So a lot of the people are talking about Lexington Law, right? So you want to make sure that you separate yourself from being part of that group, right? A lot of people want to stay away from a 12-month long contract, and they want to see the results. But that's just a little bit of, why I think you should sell high ticket. But Ken's on. Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome. So we're gonna put Ken back on. Ken, you now have the floor, sir.
Okay. So my philosophy with selling high tickets is don't always worry about what's in other people's pockets. Don't never be afraid to ask somebody for some money, because you got to understand that what's your worth. We put a lot of work into credit repair. So your skills should be what you charge. Now it gets to a point that they might not even like for instance, somebody who it's not worth $1,000 and it might be worth $500 or $600. I don't go no lower than $600 on anything. So my thing is, we as a credit repair companies, we all need to have this same type of price. So everybody trying to get customers, and that's the problem. Stop trying to get so many customers, and you can get quality customers. You know what I'm saying? So if you get quality customers, you'll start seeing your high tickets. You know what I'm saying? Because we always trying to fix the friends or the homies or your homegirls and all that stuff like that, and they try to get thousands of dollars worth of credit repair, and they giving you nothing. So that's what you got to think when it comes to high tickets, and just always think that you are not looking, don't look in their pockets. It's all about what you and your skills. That's how much you charge. Don't never be afraid to ask anybody for anything. Only they can say is no. But my thing is, when I ask for a hot ticket, the first thing I always ask them, hey, it's $1,000. And then they'll be like, well, I ain't got $1,000. And I always ask this, well, what do you have right now in your pocket? Now, if they say, well, I got 300, that's a commitment. They don't want to spend $300 and you're not going to do no work. My thing is, I take your $300. I'm not going to get started on it. But I'm going to do all the back work on it, so you think I'm getting started on it. So in about another 2 weeks, they're going to give you another $200. That's when you get started. That's how you could maintain all the high tickets. I don't do nothing less than $600. I can't do that. That ain't no money for me. That's wasting my time. I got other people I got to pay. And you got to understand, you got marketing. You got to pay for marketing. You can't be out here charging $59 down and $100 a month. You're not going to make that money. And then you got to understand the people that you're dealing with for $59 down and $100 a month. It's the ones who are going to complain the most. But the ones who with the high tickets, you got to actually call them all the time just to check on them. Because what they doing is they trusting you because they paid you a lot of money and they just want you to do the work. But the ones that you just getting for $100, no. They're the ones they're gonna be your worst customers. So my thing is high tickets. That's how I always deal with high tickets. I don't stop. If you say that you ain't got the money, I'm like, well, okay, when can you get the money? That's the question, because a lot of time they will borrow the money just to get their credit repaired. So don't never be afraid to ask people for money, because they calling you. They want to get their credit repaired. So never, my thing is never, but always get a commitment, get something out of them. Because if they pay you $300 and you never hear from them, thank for the donation. That's all it is. Thank you for the donation. And always, to me, I always get them to sign a contract before anything, before I even take their money. I make them sign a contract. If they sign that contract, they are committed. Don't ever try to take their money without them signing a contract, because they can say anything. But as long as you got that contract and it's binding, ain't too much they can say. You can email it right back to them and say, this was in the contract, and you are obligated for what is in this contract. So I make them sign a contract before I even take their money. And I don't take cash, and I don't do cash out. So always remember that. If you ain't got no merchant account and all that, find you one. You're gonna have to have one, because a lot of these people, even with a contract, they'll try to charge back on you in a minute. But if you got that contract and it's binding and you got that proof, everything's going to work out. So when you get them high tickets, you know what I'm saying? But with the high tickets, another thing, a lot of times, like I charge sometimes $3,000 and $4,000. And sometimes, you know, people pay that up front. But sometimes I don't want it all up front, because a lot of them time when somebody paying $3,000 or $4,000, they want a miracle. And my philosophy is I'm gonna get off 85%. I'm gonna get off 85%. 85% is the philosophy. After that, you can buy a car and you can buy a house. I don't do 100%. Only thing is 100% is death. 85%, that's it. That's what you tell your clients. 85%. That's all I'm doing. 85%. Because they always say, man, can you get all this? Can you get this? No, I'm gonna get 85% off. Then we can talk after that. So that's why I can get them high tickets, because honestly, I just tell the truth. It's a lot of things that is not gonna come off. And that's the one thing I tell them, like, everything is not gonna come off. And some things might pop back on there. And so when you asking for them high tickets, my thing is just tell them the truth. Just say this was going to happen and this might not happen. And that's why I've been successful in the point of getting high tickets without no problems. That's it.
Awesome. Can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a few questions, Ken? Because I know that there's a lot of business, credit repair business owners here. And you mentioned a key thing about contracts, right? And not being able to take cash or cash out, because I know a few credit repair businesses who don't have contracts that they sign. I like the fact that you said, I don't take anyone's money until you sign a contract. Can you talk about a little bit on how, what the process is with that with a client? So let's just say I'm a lead, I get transferred to you. How does that work? Like when you start talking to me about your services, how do you bring that contract up, and what's your processes? Because that's very important.
Yeah, the process is basically when we talk and I do the credit analysis. I really don't get into that until I do a credit analysis on it and break down your credit. That's the basis of everything like that. And then they'll start asking questions about, what can be deleted and what not's going to get deleted and everything like that. So I just tell them, I say, hey, that might get deleted or that might not get deleted. But it's like I say, it's the process of 85%. And then that's when we get into, after I go over everything, I come up with a price. And when I come up with the price, it's like, okay, so you charging me $1,200. Yes, I'm charging you $1,200. What credit card you want to use? It's like you're not giving them a choice yet. It's like, what credit card you want to use? And then they're like, well, I don't have $1,200. I'm like, well, what do you have in your pocket right now? And they were like, well, I got $600. Okay, I got $600. Okay, so I'm gonna send over a contract. So what it is, the contract is a breakdown on what you about to pay, when is your next payment, all the refund and anything that
the
goes
legal
on
stuff.
with,
Yep.
The legal stuff. We ain't gonna go through that. We know all that.
Yep.
So once I do that, but it's so crazy. They ready to pay you, and I'm like, hold up, let's get this contract over. And once you get a contract, and I want you to read it, I want you to go over it. And they be like, well, it's too much. Go over it a little bit with me. That's it. That's all I want you to see it. And once they go over it, they'll sign it, send it over, and then I email it back to them. Then I say, are you ready for me to take your money right now? And then I could do it over the phone, or I send them an invoice. And that's the process. It's the process. But you always do not take that money until they sign that contract.
Got it.
I made a mistake like that when the lady disputed after I already did her credit. She in the 7s. And she just went on ahead and say, I don't remember this charge. And so, but I have no proof. And she got away with it. But I ain't worried about it. I locked the credit up so she couldn't use it anyway. So my thing is, if I got your information, don't do that, because I can lock your credit.
Oh yeah.
I got the money back from her. I got the money back.
That's right.
Yeah, I
Good.
got the money back.
We have some questions in the
Okay.
chat. If you don't mind, we have a lot of questions from some
Okay.
of our clients. We have someone asking, do you scale the pricing based on the amount of negative items?
I do that sometimes. It just according how I feel that day. I might scale it down to the pricing and everything like that. And I do it with inquiries. I don't want to charge. I charge $10 per inquiry because you might have a client that's all she have is inquiries on there. And they might have 50 on there. So I charge them $10 per inquiries, and sometimes what I do with that is I wait till I do all the disputes, and then once what's all will come off, that's what you pay me for. Or sometimes they just go ahead and just pay you everything for it because they don't want to be owing nobody nothing. So inquiries, yes, I do that with that. It's $10 for each inquiry.
Got it. Okay. And I have someone asking, do you advertise your prices or is it a case by case basis? So obviously
Never,
Ken, he never, I was just going
never.
to answer this for him. I was like, we advertise for Ken and we always tell our clients, we do not advertise pricing, right? That is
No,
not our
no,
job. We don't do
no.
that because it could, scare the client away. Our
Yes.
goal is to get them on the phone with you, Ken,
Mhm.
and you build the value stack so that you
Yes.
can sell them high ticket.
Yes. Do not advertise your pricing because you might got somebody who got 4 repos on it and you're gonna charge them $2.99 for that. No, don't do that. Don't advertise your pricing. Don't never advertise your pricing because that's what they're gonna like. Hey, it say $2.99. No,
I'm playing.
yeah.
So, in terms of the price points, one of the big pieces, and I think you're a master at this. I think when we interviewed you a couple months back, what would really impress me. Hold on, let me put my big head here too, so we can see, we can all have a conversation. So what impressed me was, how you sell. It's like you sell without selling. What you're great at
Yep.
is creating value.
Yeah.
So you told me you don't even talk about money because so our rep will get you on the phone. Sam calls you, hey, Mr. Ken, I got Mary on the phone. She's already got her a credit monitoring set up. Can I put her through? And obviously that initial conversation, all the way until you get to the price. You don't even mention price until you get to the end.
None of that.
Can you talk about how you open that conversation up, the minute you get transferred into it, how you open it, how you build the value, how you do what you do? Because you have like an 80+% closing rate from what we're seeing so far.
Yeah. My thing is when I get you on that phone is to ask you how you doing. How's your day? If I hear anybody in the background, any kids, I'm gonna talk about your kids, what's going on with your kids, how was your day, what you cooking? You know what I'm saying? You're gonna bring me, I want you to cook me something. I'm hungry. My thing is I'm not trying to sell you any type of product. I'm selling you me. But once I sell you me, you're gonna buy anything I tell you to buy. So my thing is if you come in talking about money and talking about everything, they're gonna be like, no, I've been scammed before. My thing is, I want you to feel comfortable with me. Once you feel comfortable with me, and like I told you last time, Max, I always give them my out of the office number. They think it's my personal number, but it's another number that I use. And once I tell them that, I say, hey, I'm gonna give you my out of the office number so you won't have to talk to nobody else but me. You can call me direct. They feel way more comfortable giving you money when they feel like that I'm gonna talk to him personally. They might don't get me on the phone all the time. They ain't gonna get me on the phone all the time, but I always let them know that you can call me at any time. And this before I even talk about money, this before anything. And then once I start talking about money, they already say, hey, I got some money right now. I need it. And so you got to make the people feel comfortable. Make them feel comfortable. Don't make them feel like you're a salesman. It's not about a sale. It's about selling you. You got to sell yourself. That's all about. It's about selling yourself first. Once you sell yourself first, then they will buy anything that you ask them to buy. So that's always been my philosophy. Sell myself first. Because I come from a different industry. I come from the hair industry. I still got my distribution company that, I sell hair products. So I'm always just going beauty salons and I don't sell the product. I sell me.
Oh, I never knew that, Ken.
Yeah, see
Oh,
there,
watch
that's what
out.
you
No
don't
wonder.
know. Yeah.
That's your secret, huh? You
I
the good
got you.
products.
Yeah. So I used to go in them shops, and the first thing I used to do, I try to sell the product. And they'd be like, okay, what you got? You know, but then I started selling myself. And then they didn't care what I had, they just bought it because of me. So I learned that, and then I brought it into the credit business. Even though I've been doing credit for years, I just took it serious a few years ago, and then say, hey, I'm gonna make this a whole business. And so I learned from that, because getting in front of women who, women, I ain't trying to say, but y'all want to know everything about this product, what it can do, and how it can help me. So I had to learn that before I could start selling it. And once I did that, they'll buy it.
So you apply that to credit repair.
That's it. That's what I did.
So once you get past that piece, you sell yourself, you build that connection, you build that trust, right? So now there's like some type of familiarity and a comfort zone built up. Then you transition into the credit analysis. Now, I know everyone here is a professional. Everyone here has done credit analysis. Can you talk a little bit about your credit analysis and kind of how you go through that to build a value for your high ticket price point?
So, I know a lot of y'all out there probably using different type of software for, to do credit analysis and everything. And probably a few of them probably using one I'm using. And what it is, they like to see what's going on with their credit. They like to see, okay, I got 55 inquiries. I got 14 collections. It's in so much detail. And so when they get to see it, they're like, okay, my credit is bad. Because you got other people who they'll pull your credit and tell you what's on there, and that's it. And you just go what they say. But once you can see it and you can pinpoint it and say, okay, that's when I messed up at. Okay, so that's why it's late all the time. That's what they like more. And so that's why I can ask for a high ticket, because they can see it and like, I got 14 collections? Yeah, and you talking about $300. No, there ain't gonna be no $300 a day. $300 down, but this gonna be $1,500 worth. So you like to see them look at their own credit analysis, and then they be like, okay, so that's what it is. So all of y'all who out there, always make sure you do a credit analysis so they can actually see what's going on. So when you ask for that high ticket, they got all the proof right there. They looking right at it that this is why my credit is bad. And so once they see it, you can ask for it. If you just sitting there running their credit and not showing them nothing, it's hard to get that money from them.
Makes sense. So as you go through that credit analysis, so you're basically going through everything, and then how do you transition now into asking for the money or pricing them out?
Well, I always say this is one thing I always do. I say, add up all your debt. And then they'll sit there, they adding everything up. I said, so tell me how much, and then this is sometime when I ain't asked for no money, how much you think this worth? And they be like, well, I mean, 60,000. I say, so what about 2,500 to take off 85% of that 60,000? They like, yeah, I mean, yeah, that sound about right. And, but they get to see it. They see it. So you showing them like 2,500 to take off 85% of that 60,000. They gonna go with it. They're gonna go with it. But if you're not showing them nothing and you say, I need $2,500, they be like, for what? Because I seen some clients will call me after they already talked to other credit repair companies.
Right.
And I run a credit analysis, and they ain't got but 2 items on there that they can pay themselves. And they wanted $2,500. My thing is, and I told you this, Max, I don't chase money. That's one thing I don't do. I'm not chasing money. Once you start flowing and letting everything flow, the money's gonna chase you. And then you can pick which one you want to do.
That's right.
I'm not chasing on money. If you got a bill to be paid, then hey, that might got to get cut off, because don't chase it. Because once you start chasing it, you're gonna start getting them customers that you don't want to do. and they bad for your business when you chase money. I don't chase money at all. I used to chase it. Oh man, I used to get the worst customers because I'm chasing, because I need to pay my phone bill. I need to pay my car note. I say, no, stop chasing. Let it come to you. Once you let that money come to you, you will see it flow. You'll see a better flow. So that's what I do. I don't chase money no more. I don't chase it no more.
Very good. Very good. So this is some more questions here. I think Deanna, you're on mute.
Sorry. Okay, so we have one more question from a client. She asked, doesn't the law require that the work be completed prior to payment? So how do you address that question?
Okay, let's get to that.
Ken, when you speak, can you pull up a little bit so we can see your whole face? Because right now we see you like
You
this.
want to see my hope right there?
From like home Improvement. You know that guy that's behind the fence?
Right there. It's
There you
right
are. There it is.
Okay, cool. So what that is, I always tell people, a lot of time I don't like to take all the money up front, you know, and so you can, and by law, but you got to understand, 90% of people don't know that law. So you got to be really mindful when you're doing it, if you do take all the money, because then you know you're going to have to do the work. That's why I say, do the credit analysis. Let them see something, you know. Make sure you're sending out emails all the time so they see something. I got a drip of emails that go out every single day. So they see emails, you know, they're getting phone calls. I got assistants. They get phone calls and texts from my assistants. So they seeing things. Once you got your clients and they see you doing something, they not gonna worry about of giving you all that money or giving you money when the work is not completed yet. So that's why how you gotta be mindful. If they don't see nothing, don't hear nothing from you, that's when the complaint's gonna come. So that's what I learned. Like I say, this all trial that I already did, and I messed up at it, and I knew what I did wrong. So this ain't nothing that I'm talking about. It ain't never happened to me. You know, You got some clients used to call me like, they used to call me, I ain't know who they were. I already took their money. I ain't started on their work. It's been 90 days. I ain't nothing. Cause I was just like, oh man, you know, cause I wasn't organized, you know, and once I got organized and learned how to really have customer service and really be able to talk to people. And if you don't want to talk to somebody, hire somebody to do it. Get auntie who at home, she ain't doing that and watching the stories all the time. Get her to pick up your phone if you have to. You know, if you ain't got the money, if you would at least pay her $150 a week, you know, I outsource. You know what I'm saying? I was telling you about that, Max. I outsource. You know what I'm saying? I got a woman right now in the Philippines. Man, it's like she at my house half the time. She do so much work. You know, I'm like, yo, slow down. My other sisters, they get mad because she do all the work.
Right.
You know, so I tell people that if you can't do it, outsource it. If you can afford it and pay somebody else to do your customer service and really send off your emails and talk to people and text people all day, that's what you need to do. Because then your clients won't complain about that hot ticket. They like, look, man, I just gave you $1,500 and I ain't heard from you in 2 days. They in 2 days ain't nothing, but you like, yo, but you got somebody who, I got my people now, they be telling, look, tell Michelle, she ain't got to call me every day. She ain't got to text and emailing me every day. I say, nah, that's her job. So this, you know that we running a real business here, because a lot of people out here in the credit repair, everybody think that somebody's scamming them. And I always wanted to talk to people about that in other credit repair companies. And we get this stigma of scam. And the first thing the customer asks me, say, you ain't gonna scam me. I say, well, let me ask you something. I just did a credit analysis and you owe almost $100,000 in debt and you ain't paid nobody. So who the scammer? You scam everybody. You ain't paid nobody. How you gonna call us a scam and you scam everybody that you ever got something from? So once we get that out of the way, a lot of them start laughing, a lot of them get upset, but they be like, well, you know, I was going through stuff and my mama, you know, she was sick, and no, but don't call us scammers. Now, it's some scammers out here, but I always tell people that if you taking something from somebody who doing Cash App, or you meet somebody around the corner for some cash, 9 out of 10 is gonna be a scam, because that ain't good. So I always like I say, credit repair companies, I'm always defending us. You know, I like that everybody out here doing what they supposed to be doing it right, getting out here making this money, because we doing a service that nobody else don't want to do. You got to understand, we dealing with the bottom. People who credits is at the bottom. So we dealing with them type of people who don't like to pay bills. So then the first ones I always say, you a scam. You like scamming, you been scamming all your life, but I'm a scam. You know, so them the people that we deal with every day. We dealing with people who don't like to pay nobody. So a lot of times you do need to get your money. If I see that you don't pay nobody, I need all my money up front. I need all of it, or at least half, because you don't pay nobody.
With a contract.
With the contract.
That's right.
With the contract. Because if you don't sign no contract, they gonna scam you out there. They're gonna I don't remember them. I don't know about that charge. You gotta watch people like that. So
100%. Yes.
I'm telling you.
That's so awesome. We have another question from LaShandra. She asked, so do you just use the credit analysis in CRC?
She talking about the
Credit Repair Cloud.
Credit repair, credit repair cloud.
I don't use that. I use client dispute manager.
There you go.
Is there a reason why?
Mark. I use Mark. I use Mark all day.
Oh, Mark.
You know, I've been rocking with Mark for a minute. I was rocking with Mark when I ain't know what to do with it. I was just storing people in there, ain't never used no credit analysis, and I was like, man, I'm paying $150 a month for almost 8 months, and didn't even hardly use it. Until one day one of his people called and say, you ain't hardly using it. You need to do a walkthrough. And once they did a walkthrough, I said, oh, okay. So I was like, what's that? A credit? So that's what it really is? Okay, so client dispute manager, that's the one I use. I've been using that for years now. You know, when Mark was Mark. Mark wasn't even doing no type of seminar. He wasn't doing nothing. He was just talking. That's it. I'm one of his first customers.
There you go. So you just use client dispute manager to run the analysis.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Cool. Does anyone have any other questions? You guys can actually ask questions. I'm going to unmute you guys. You can unmute yourselves, and then, you know, it's an open forum now. So, you know, we could just have a discussion here.
Where my Shelby dude at? That's down the road from me. Where he at? Where Shelby at? I'm in Charlotte. Come on, we 30 minutes away.
Hey, I'm just getting in the office. Just give me 1 second. But we definitely got to get up soon.
All day. You know that. I'm in Shelby all the time.
Oh, hold on 1 second. I was just able, and
is that Mike Lattimore?
It's Mike Lattimore.
Okay, let me give you the spotlight, Mike. Let me put you on here. I'm gonna pin you.
Okay.
There you are, so everyone can see who you are.
Well, I'm letting everybody see this is my new office.
Uh-oh.
I remember you said you had a new office.
Wow, look at that.
So this is my brother, and he got board certified as a credit repair consultant.
That's what I'm talking about.
I just feel that, you know, you got to have the credibility to do this, because you know, with us, we get prone to taking I guess getting involved in a lot of scams or thinking something that's
You're right.
Because back in, I think, July of last year, a lot of people were doing these susu boards.
Oh man, I seen them all the time. Yeah.
And I mean, throwing out thousands of dollars of money like it wasn't anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I look at it like this: if you got money
Too
to play
cheap.
those susu boards, you got the money to repair your credit.
Yeah. And I say that all the time.
And you know, I just think that, you know, with this type of business, it's good to be in a good central location where people can see you.
Yeah.
And you know, just, you know, you just gotta, like you were saying, you gotta be able to sell yourself first.
That's it. Yeah.
And I've had bad credit, great credit, bad credit again, and you know, it goes.
Hey,
But
I'm gonna tell you something. I fix my credit all the time. You know what I'm saying? That's all I do.
yeah,
I'm always applying for something. I'm always doing something. So yeah, that's what we do.
yeah, exactly. And you know, as you mature, you know, obviously you're able to know how to handle your credit, what your credit can do for you.
Exactly.
And all I want to be able to, if you don't use my credit service, at least you get some type of financial literacy.
All day. All day.
So I think, you know, and I definitely love helping my people, but I know it's a bigger pond out there.
That's right.
And I think, you know, you got to outsource the things you can't do.
I try to tell people that.
And I mean, I've been hung up all day on a technical, you know, getting a report imported that I spent 6 hours, that if I probably hired somebody,
there you go,
they could have did it in 5 minutes.
I'm telling you, hey brother, I always tell people this: Ford didn't invent the motor; he invented mass producing it. He built a team. You know what I'm saying? He built that team. Once he built that team, Ford is Ford.
Yeah.
So that's why I always tell people: I always tell people, don't always be the smartest person in the room.
No,
if you're the smartest person in the room, get out of it. Because it ain't gonna work. Don't be the smartest. And so what I do is I surround myself with smart people. And I do like, hey, what you want to do? Okay, you do this. Okay, now you do that. Now you do this. I'm a supervise because I'm gonna do my part. And you
gotta know how to delegate.
And I always tell people this, that you want to build a 6-figure or a 7-figure. 6 figures, anybody can make that 6-figure, anything 6-figure and low. You can make that by yourself. But if you want to do a high 6-figure or 7-figure, you need a team.
That's right.
You need a team. You can't do it by yourself.
No, and I definitely, you know, and I'll give someone else a spotlight. You know, I came from an industry of a service. Before I was doing this, I, you know, owned a non-emergency wheelchair and stretcher transportation company in DC. Yeah. And, you know, obviously, you don't want to be blamed because I got somebody's mother late to their cardiologist appointment. They've been waiting 3 months. Can I get your account number? So, you know, I understand the service industry, and, you know, providing credit repair, you know, is obviously, you know, opening the doors. People get, you know, more credit, homes, cars, what have you. But I just want to be able to scale the business.
Scale the business. That's what it's about.
And be able to consistently make, you know, 7 figures. I mean, you know, over 6 figures a year.
Yes, I'm gonna tell you something. It's 330 million people in America. Okay, 80% of them people got a 550 and below. So what you got to understand, I always tell people this: we ain't nobody's competition. I don't worry about what you do because you know why? It's too many people out here.
That's right.
You can do, I'm gonna tell you something, you can do 10,000 people a year. That ain't messing with nobody's money.
It's not yeah.
And so that's why I got an old friend that I still call him my friend. He been doing credit repair for about 30 years. He won't teach you nothing because you know why? He say, man, you might be my competition. Competition?
That's
no competition. Competition? Man, I'm trying to get you. If you say you went with somebody else, like sometimes they be like, well, I'm with another agency. I'll be like, okay, tell me about them. They'll tell me about them. I'm like, okay, so what you doing? They be like, well, you know, I'm kind of lazy. I don't be doing what I say, don't do them like that. Because I say they probably doing their job. Don't do them like that. I'm the type of, I support our people. So credit repair company, man, if they working with somebody else, keep working with them. Because you're not doing what you're supposed to do. So I always support us as a group. You know, we're a different type of breed. You know, so my thing is,
and I think definitely, you know, with this area, which you were saying, let's all try to keep the same price.
yes,
And I feel, one of the non-emergency, I have somebody, I'm charging $250 for a stretcher trip,
yeah,
and he's charging $225.
yeah,
And we're gonna, we know what the market is.
yeah.
Well, let's work together, and maybe we can get $275
You
out
know what
of
I'm saying?
everybody.
It's all about balance.
Yeah, and definitely how close that we are, Shelby to Charlotte.
Yeah.
I think
Hey, we
it's
30 minutes, bro. We 30 minutes. 30 minutes. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. So definitely, I'd like to talk to you, on that aspect of it, because we got a lot of people that got sticker shock.
Yes.
And they see that $1,200 and
I don't blink. You see that? You see my eyes like that? I don't blink. When I tell them 1,200, I'll be like this. 12. And they be like, okay. You can't blink, because my thing is, we can't be out here charging these low prices because you need customers.
Right.
Or you need to, we need to be out here almost on the same level.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
On that same level. So when they say, well, I'm gonna go over here, wait a minute, they $1,500 too. Well, they over here 15. Oh man, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and go with this one. I mean, all y'all 1,500, Hey, Eric,
listen. I'm trying to.
So my thing is I always tell people, always do not sell yourself short. I'm not gonna be the cheapest at all. And they might be like, well, somebody, they charging $400. Hey, you know what? That sounds like a great deal. Maybe you need to go to them.
That's
and
true.
I'm like, y'all, and then they'll call me 2 weeks later and say, hey, you still doing that for $1,500? Yeah, I'm still, yeah. Right now I'm doing 18, but I do you for 15 because we said 15 last time. Nah, don't play me. When you talking about you can go get it for 400, go ahead, buy it.
You'll be back. You did exactly what you paid for. We got another question here.
Hey.
Go ahead, Deanna.
Yep.
That's a question.
She's asking, do you outsource sending letters?
Oh, you know what? My thing is, when you outsource and sending letters, make sure that you making the money to send them off like that. Because with Mark, with his in his client dispute, he got this thing now that you can do that. And yes, I can afford it and do it now, but I still like putting that stuff in them letters myself because it's hard sometimes. Only time I use them is when I do certified. When I want to send something certified, I don't feel like going down there and do it myself, put the thing up. I don't want to do all that. When I use him when I do certified, I send it out, I do the send it a letter. But if you can't, like I tell people, always think about your money and how you're gonna use it. If that's not nothing that you think like, okay, I really need to do that. But if you don't got 200 or 300 customers, you really don't need it. My thing is, if you just still got 100, less than 100, you can still do that yourself. It's about saving you some money. It's all about marketing. Use your money for marketing instead of that easy way out. When you start doing it like that, I got one of my partners out there. Y'all probably know him, Alex Miller. He uses that, but he doing $250,000 a month. So he can't be doing them letters by himself. So you got somebody who's doing numbers like that, that's when you can use it. But if you're not doing numbers like that, that's, to me, is like a waste of money. just go ahead and I got a like a stamp machine. I got all that, stuff set up and everything like that. And I just use it. I got my other sisters, they use it too. But when I do certified mail, that's the only time I use it. Cause I'm lazy. I don't want to go to the post office. I'm sorry. I just don't want to. Yeah. So
awesome. Do we have any other questions? Anybody else want to ask any other questions about selling high ticket? Any questions about maybe the process? You got Mr. Ken here, open book. We want to share with what he does. He's a beast.
Where'd you get your Sade? Where did you get your stamp machine from?
What you call it? What's the name of the company? Pinckney Bowes. Pinckney Bowes, yeah, Pinckney Bowes. I use them for the stamp machine, and
send us some in Slack.
Pitney, there you go. Pitney Bowes.
There you go.
There you
hey,
go.
don't get me to pronounce that. I'm the worst.
Yeah.
And don't get me to spell that either. I'm horrible. I can't even be the third grader.
Oh, there she
goes. That's me.
LaShondra spelled it. Very good.
There you go. LaShondra spelled it. There you go, Sade.
All right.
But I use them, and they charge me about $79 a month. But I've been using them for so long, they don't even charge me that no more. I just use the machine, and I use so much of it, and they see me using so much money, they send me a letter and say, okay, we'll send you an upgrade when it's time and everything. So I've been using them for so long. So yeah.
Oh, Michael just asked, what about using a retainer model like a law firm?
Oh, I got a friend, and she's in Atlanta. So she's my lawyer, and she works for a law firm. So I have them. Anything I need drawed up, if I'm about to sue the credit bureaus or anything like that, or file a complaint, I always go through them first, and they do everything for me. So I keep them on the retainer.
I think what he means is
specifically.
Oh, I think about pricing. I think your pricing model, right? I'm assuming that's what you're asking.
Go ahead, Mike. Why don't you ask your question? Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I guess if we say $1,200, and obviously, we're not doing $1,200 worth of credit repair services right away. I mean, if you just give them, say, like a itemized invoice of, say, the credit analysis is, I'm just throwing out numbers like $400, and your first round of letters is another $250. Yeah. And just sending them an invoice.
But like I say, 90% of people don't know that. So that's the ones you base yourself on. Because a lot of times they be like, well, I want it all written down how this is going to work. So them the ones that you do that to. Not everybody don't get it. You just got to understand that. Now, you just don't waste your time with everybody when it comes to that. You know what I'm saying? I'm just being real with you, because if you do, it's going to be, because a lot of them don't read nothing. Don't even read that contract. Yeah. So you already know. So you'll be wasting ink for some of these people. So they don't even ink. You be mad. You be like, hey, did you get that? They be like, get what?
I mean, I can't even get them, after they supposed to get at least letters from the credit bureaus. I know some mail comes to the house.
Man, I'm gonna tell you something. I had one customer, his wife throws away everything. For a whole 6 months, he said, man, I ain't received nothing, but stuff is coming off his credit. I said, you ain't got one letter? And then his wife finally got on the phone and said, it's something called TransUnion and Equifax and the Spirit. I've been throwing them away. I say, there you go, right there. That's who been getting rid of all your stuff. So right now, you can't
call that right there.
Right now, yes, things been a little slow. With everybody use the COVID-19. They use that as an excuse with the credit bureau, but the credit bureau's always been slow. So before even COVID. So I kick them in their butt, man. I do not play when it comes to that. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna file a complaint. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get my lawyers on it, and I get things done, because I'm not gonna sit here for 6 months waiting on something that y'all supposedly supposed to be investigating. So you got to stay on that part too. Stay on the credit bureaus. Stay on them. Do not let them slack up and be like, hey, because they love sending their stall letters. They love sending them stall letters back and say, hey, we already know you have. You ain't looked at nothing. You just sending, oh, we need more information. You got enough. You know what I'm saying? My reply is always, you got enough. I send something back. I don't even send no extra information. You got enough that you're alive. All you got to do is pull it up. That's it. Social security number and they ID. That's all you needed. And you didn't even need that. I just gladly sent that to you. So you got to be that, because you got to understand it falls on different desks. And I always tell people, even with the credit repair companies, and with how I'm gonna tell you how I dispute stuff. My disputes always individually. I don't do no templates and all that because they get red flag. I always individually go into that letter, take out a lot of stuff and add more, because only thing they doing is shooting it through a machine. What I do is I make sure that a human is gonna look at it, and they gotta be the one to investigate, not that computer. That's how I get a lot of my stuff deleted, because I don't use templates. I individually and personally send out stuff and write. And I'm the worst typer. That's why I got somebody who type. You got to hire somebody. Because I'm not, man, I'm horrible. I've been just sitting there pecking. Nah, man, I had to hire somebody to do it. I can't type. So my thing is, and that's how I get things going with that too. You got to show that you're doing anything, and then they had that hot ticket. You got to be doing the work. You got to be getting stuff deleted. You can't be asking for $1,500 and 5 months from now ain't nothing deleted off. That's another thing. And I always tell people this, you know, with credit repair companies, yeah, you want to make money, but do you really know how to repair credit? And that gets us in a lot of time that you in a hurry to get the customers, but do you know how to get that credit repaired? Do you know how to get a lot of items deleted? I had to learn that. I had to learn that the hard way. Y'all gotta understand, I learned the hard way. Man, I mean the hard way. Man, I had plenty of customers, but I ain't know what I was doing. You know what I'm saying? So that's what sometimes is credit repair company, that's their problem sometimes, is they don't know how to get all these deletions off. So people who got them hot, you got that hot ticket with, they could see the deletions. They be like, man, my credit, oh man, you took off that? Really? Oh man, you ain't playing. My referral game, and I tell Max and Deanna all the time, my referral game is a fool. Referrals, oh man, that's 60% of my business. It's referrals. That's what you want. You want somebody to be like, hey man, he good. Yo, man, you gotta rock with them, man. And they just start sending people. That's what your referrals is. You know, you can market all day and get this and get that, but your referrals is where you're gonna make your money at. It's your referrals. So you got to do the work. You got to do the work. You know.
Hey Ken, I got 3 questions. Exactly. No, there's questions from some of our clients. So I guess about the process. So let's just say when we transfer some.
Oh, you're cutting out. You're cutting out. Can you ask again?
The lead and scale. She's asking, do you input the information? It says, oh, okay. So when we transfer a lead to you, when we do a qualified transfer, do you input the information into CDM and complete the credit analysis while they're on the phone?
While they're on the phone. You got to. Yep. I told you I'm a horrible typer now. But I'm sitting there talking to them and I'm telling jokes. I'm telling them, you know what, hey, did you see the game? You know what I'm saying? You know, you got to just keep them like talking while you sitting there, because I'm a slow typer. So I'm just, you know, I'm trying to get them right. So my thing is, that's what I have to, you got to be doing that. And then I'll be like, check your email. And once they check their email, and they be like, oh, okay, this is the credit analysis. And they looking at the credit analysis. Now you can really get into a great conversation with them, because now you got that done. You know, always be doing that at the time you talking to them when they transfer the call over. Because, you know, like I say, Sam be like, hey, I got him right here. And I'll be like, hey, Sam, you got him? You got him on there? So I'm already going into it. I'm already bringing it up. I'm saving it. I'm bringing it over. I'm doing the credit analysis, and I can send it off to them. You gotta be on point with that.
You got to, exactly. Here's another question. Do you do all of your sales calls, or do you have help? And then another one is, do you pay referral fees?
Yeah, I do all my sale calls because I want to make sure I close them, because
Exactly.
I don't want nobody to mess up my money. You know, because right now I don't have nobody who can be me yet.
Yep.
So if nobody's not you yet, it's hard, you know what I'm saying? So, and yes, and I do pay referral fees. You know, it'd be from $50 to $100. I got one girl who brought me 20 people and didn't want no money. Like I'm like, come on, can I give you something? She be like, no, I'm good. Cause $7.99 and an 805. That's 2 of her scores, and 1 was the 805. She say, I don't need nothing else. You already did what you did for me. So that's how she reward me. But I hate, sometimes I say, girl, and I don't cash out people. I say, girl, what's your cash app? I say, I gotta send you. I said, there ain't no way. I gotta send you something. You know, why you sending me this many people? I mean, it's like every day.
That's awesome.
Non-stop, you know.
Awesome.
Well, all right. I think we might be wrapping it up. I think we're right here on the hour. This was really, really great, Ken.
Yeah.
You know, we appreciate you jumping on, and obviously as a client now with the Famous Group for. Well, I think we're hitting your 1-year anniversary soon.
Yeah, 1 year.
We do have some new clients here, you know, who just jumped on board with our new program. As you guys know, the Pay for Performance program is something we just rolled out, I think like earlier last month. And it's from us doing marketing with a lot of clients, Ken being one of them, and seeing where there was like a gap. You know, all the leads are coming in, but then having somebody who could really follow up and do the work of qualifying those leads. You know, Ken jumped on board with that program. You know, some of you guys are new. Some of you guys actually transitioned to that program as well. But it would be cool if Ken, just in closing, if you could maybe just share some insight with the newer people who are here today, you know, working with the Famous Group, you know, whether they've already been in credit repair for a few months or a few years, what can you leave them with? So to make 2021 a record-breaking year for their business, because we want everybody to win.
Man, I want everybody to win. When you win and I'm winning.
That's it.
So, you know what I'm saying? My thing is, my philosophy is, don't be scared to get their money. Don't be scared. And if your goals are high or what you want to make sure you outsource and you get more people to work for you. And you know what I'm saying? And if y'all know, and Max, they already know who my philosophy or who I listen to all the time is Grant Cardone. And if you don't know who Grant Cardone is, y'all need to get to know him well, because he'll tell you in a minute, if you sitting around and you thinking about what's in other people's pockets, you ain't gonna make no money at all. Because I don't worry about what's in somebody else's pocket. If I'm paying this person right here real good, they mean they're making a whole lot of money for me. So I don't worry about what's in their pocket. I don't care about if I gotta hire this person to make more money. That's what I have to do. And that's what you have to do. You're gonna have to hire people to make more money. I'm gonna tell you something. Have you ever seen a person who's a millionaire and owns a Fortune 500 company and he's doing it by himself? I'll wait, because you ain't gonna see one. So you know that they had to hire people to make money. And don't be worrying about what they making, because if they making good money, they mean you making more. So I don't worry about what I have to pay that person, because they're going to go above and beyond for me. So that's what you're going to have to do for your goals are in 2021 is go hard, hire more people, and you're going to make way more money. That's my philosophy. That's how I go every day.
Very good.
That money.
Right. That's it. Appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. All right, guys. So we're going to wrap it up today. Thank you guys. If you have any questions, you can always obviously message us on Slack. And Mr. Ken Wood, we'll see you here in Miami next month.
Oh, yeah. Yep. I'll be there on the 13th. We'll fly out at 4:00, be there about 6. You know, I'm going to hit y'all,
100%.
Yeah, you know you're going to hit us up.
You already know it. You already know it.
All right, guys. Well, thank you guys all jumping on. Hope you guys got some value. And we'll see you guys in Slack. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.